Okay. Audio working? Not really. We'll know when we get here. I can see some stuff popping up. Let's try to pull it up a little bit. That looks better. That looks much better. Okay, let's see. How much experience do I need? Is it 3 runs? Something like that, right? I wasn't paying attention. Shoot, I should have looked up there. Yep. So we're just under 1,800? So that'll be 30 runs. Not bad. It's going to be torturous when I have to say the words. It's going to be 3,000 runs. I've been trying to find posts online that say how much each level costs. I'm shocked, like, I mean, I'm just to blame. I didn't take notes of how much it was going to cost for every level. But I feel like that's really good information to have online. Or maybe just nobody cares and I care, but... I mean, obviously the later levels are going to be the worst ones, but like, how much worse? Like, will I even make it to where it costs that much? I'm sure it will. I have 2 million experience to cover. Yeah, because there's in Kingdom Hearts 1, it has the questions you're asked, and that determines how quickly you level up, but I don't think there's anything that determines how quickly you level up in this game, right? Those choices aren't here. They could do that. They could have had Hain or Pensinolet definitely ask you questions at some point. What they should have done is when all those strange things are happening, they should ask you what you think they are. And depending on your answers, that's how fast you level up. Like, do you really think it was just Vivi training back here? And it'd be like, no, I fought 20 Vivi. Or, I guess it was. And then, like, I don't know. It's literally like, I don't know. And depending on what you choose would determine if you get the slow, medium, or fast EXP gain, like the old game. Oh, what game did I just play? I just played a brand new game the other day. I didn't stream it though, because I'm sure you're allowed to stream it since it's a Steam demo. But I didn't want to stream it just in case like there's rules against that. I don't know why you wouldn't be allowed to stream demos. I did have to use Streamlabs though. It didn't work with OBS, which was kind of annoying. But that is something that can happen with smaller games like that. Both smaller AA games that I've played required me to not use OBS, which, you know, kind of makes sense now that I've had to do that twice. Which isn't much, but it's strange that it happened at all. Thankfully, the El Gato, I guess, works. Otherwise, PS2 would just be doomed. Oh, I don't have my drink out. It really does blow my mind that the PS2 is just kind of sitting there in limbo. I mean, the PS3 can play PS1 games. Xbox is just about to catalog a ton of PS1 games, from what I understand. It's just so weird that such a great console sits in such a weird limbo. And the games and stuff, like, PS2s are going, like, down in price from what I can tell. A decent PS2 only costs you about $150 depending on where you live. Outside of the United States, it gets a little wonkier, but if you're in a place that has access to Amazon, you pretty much can get a PS2. I mean, again, I was talking about this recently when I started this game. Kingdom Hearts is only like $10. It's not an expensive game. Kingdom Hearts 1 is more expensive than Kingdom Hearts 2. They sit in limbo. And then you have Pokemon games on the flip side, where a Game Boy or a DS or a Advance or SP, whatever you want, it's going to cost you $80 to $150. And then the Pokemon game of your choice is going to cost you about $35 to $150. And excuse me again. Stop thinking about buying one with the case. We're buying loose here. We're not buying cases. We're not. And if you're buying a case, you're not getting the game manual. Stop thinking about it. Ridiculous. Shiny Hunters blow my mind when you see people with 16 GameCubes and a bunch of copies of like Fire Red and Leaf Green with emeralds stacked in there. They're just a different breed. It's like what do you want to call? What's the technical term for them? I don't know what it is. MMORPGers. They dedicate to one craft. They only have one type of game they play. Now, it might not be the only game they play, but it's the only type of game they play. Like, you might switch what MMORPG you play, but it's still an online RPG. You might get away from the masses here and there, but you're still playing online with friends. And that's okay. No judgment. Sometimes shooters, online shooters are like a big one. The 2020s have had Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Apex Legends just at the top. And then you've had pretty much countless spin-off games come out that you can just switch to if you want to. I guess that's more of a battle royale mindset. But even then, if you want to branch off from there, there's been tons of first-person shooters. I'm trying to think of that one that everybody made fun of. I want to say Death Clock, but that's the Adult Swim show. Deathloop, Borderlands 3, Journey to a New World? Or a Wild World? I can't remember. Tons of them. Good games. The single player kind of like linear story games are coming back. The God of War series has been nailing that. I think Naughty Dog's about to make a big comeback. Armored Core 4 is about to come out. That's exciting. I've never played an Armored Core game, but From Software has just been nailing it. And they said they were done with Dark Souls 3 and the Ring City DLC. And when it happened, it just kind of seemed like, I don't believe you. But I have to say, I don't miss it. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 kind of just sit there now, and well, they age really weird every year as a new game comes out. I think every year a game, like, changes the scene. Like, for instance, with Cyberpunk 2077, everybody's minds changed, like, 180 degrees. Nobody looked the same direction anymore. Even if you held the same opinion, you looked like a totally different way. I guess I should say 90 degrees. You might still be looking the same direction, but you're not looking the same way. Everybody turned their head 90 degrees. But like the amount of love Dark Souls 2 has gotten, at least in my experience, has completely dwarfed anything I see for Dark Souls 3. It pretty much goes Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 in ranking, which is kind of funny because that's how it goes in order, but like, I don't think Dark Souls 3 stands in second place anymore. From what I can tell, Dark Souls 2 has gotten nothing but love for like the last 5 years. Which it deserves. I would have to replay the game to see where I got stuck. I think I got stuck trying to find those branches to unlock statues. And that's where I quit playing. Because like I had explored as much as I could without looking stuff up. And it was one of those things, if I started looking stuff up, I wasn't going to remember what all I had done personally. And it was going to wipe any personal achievement I think I had. I should have just finished the run, but I'd like to give it a second try. Wow, my nose is runny. There must be a dust storm or something outside. Ooh, 1 second. I need a drink. I need to grab a bottle of water from the other room. Let me finish this loop. Yeah, I'll have to check to see if there's a fire. I know there's a fire up north, but I'll have to check because I can definitely tell that my nose is clogged. Wow, yeah, I feel like I need an allergy med. No bueno. I don't want to assume it's a fire, though, because the other day it turned out to actually be a dust storm. I thought it was a fire, but it was actually a giant dust storm. So, a little accusatory. I don't think fire cares that I accuse it of something, but in the off chance that fire is sentient, I don't want to make it mad. Sapient? Sapient. Fire's technically sentient. It reacts to its environment. Fire doesn't go where it lacks oxygen. It's not gonna kill itself. It's not gonna put itself out. It does react to stimuli. Does it react to stimuli or does it just react to... I don't think that's technically stimuli. I think if you blow on a fire, that doesn't count as stimuli. I'd need somebody way smarter than me. Probably not. Probably... When I say way smarter than me, I mean somebody of average intelligence. However, common sense is irrelevant to the equation. We're talking about if fire is sentient. No, we're talking about if fire's... No. Fire's not sapient, but is fire sentient? It does... It reacts to its environment, but I don't think it's stimuli. I think that's the environment taking action. Because stimuli doesn't actually have to, like, do anything. Like, a person standing in a window looking at a bird is stimuli enough. A bird can react to that. A bird will react to that. It's a person there. It's a predator. It's forward-facing eyes. But I don't think a fire necessarily is reacting to something. I think it's just... I don't know. I don't know. Because if you blow on a fire... You're displacing oxygen. I don't think the fire... Yeah, the fire's not doing anything. Although it's existing, I don't think the fire is sentient. I do not believe fire reacts to its environment by stimuli. Final offer. Oh god, we're only through 800 experience, and I'm talking about if fire's sentient or not? Where do you think we'll be by level 25? So I've been giving a lot of thought to Xiao Rouge. I will actually have to look into YouTubing all of her Malsus and finding out if it was a different game. Oh, I wonder if it's her ultimate, like when she's at red. I'll have to check. But I thought her ultimate was her throwing like kunai in all directions. But it appeared to be her breakdancing, which just seemed like a shorter range version of Guan Yu's, which isn't bad per se, but I thought it was... I wonder if it's... I have the wrong Dynasty Warriors. That'd be too bad because I've seen 4 for sale, and if it was any of them, it'd probably be 4. Although it could be 5 Empires, which would make me super sad because I've also seen... Actually, I bought 5 Empires thinking it was the right one, and when I turned it on, it would go to the main menu and then just like stop working. Although now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if it was simply the controller I was using. Huh. Interesting. What other game? I wonder if my Call to Arms is doing that. I thought it was just glitching out, but I wonder if it just doesn't accept the controller I was using. Alright, JoJo's talking, which isn't good. She just ate. Hopefully she's not complaining I didn't feed her enough. She has not looked hot lately. They are seemingly bored of chasing the wristband. So it's been kind of hard to get them to run. I'm super excited. I should have checked on the Amazon Prime Day. I'm not a big Amazon Primer. I know it sounds like I am, but it's because I like things in 2 days. And I hate going to the store and trying to figure out which store is not going to rip me off the most and which store I have a club member card to already, so I don't have to sign up for a card membership to get 10% off because the price is inflated that much. And then I've wasted $20 in gas just trying to check all the stores, and what money I saved didn't actually matter. That's why I like Amazon. Because it saves me from having to Google 20 things and then drive to a place and then waste the money. I still have to Google everything, but at least if Amazon's at like a $5 to $10 range more expensive, I know I'm going to save it in gas money. Sometimes Amazon ends up being the cheapest one, and it saves me even more money, because again, it was the cheapest one, and I didn't have to drive anywhere. But not everybody has Amazon. Not everybody has access, even, to Amazon. Not everybody even knows what Amazon is. I think that'd be a perfect world. Where every human being has the ability to order a PS2 and Kingdom Hearts 2 when they feel like it. I think that's when the world's made it. I don't think the environment would be too happy about that, but it wouldn't even have to be that bad. You wouldn't even need the PS2 if, you know, Square Enix would just release the games. I have to imagine this game could probably run on most laptops. Like, I say most laptops, and I'm including laptops that you'd pull out of a closet. I know the PS2 is hard to emulate, but I mean, for gosh sakes, like, we've come so far in technology. The problem is letting the public have access to a game's source code. You can't be doing that. Oh, could you imagine the games that could be created, though, if everybody had access to this? Think of the innovation if one of these games got leaked. Off the top of my head, I don't even know all the fan-created games out there that have become, like, staples. Like, what? StarCraft? I think? No. What was it that became popular because it was a modded version of one of those games? I know Counter-Strike came from Half-Life. Shoot, I had another example lined up too. It's just crazy to think about. Because there's a lot of people out there who are just really talented, but can't get that, like, first 75% going. But if they can have 100% of a game like this made, and then strip 25% of, like, the face and character of the game away, they can make something totally new. I mean, it's not that people used to do that, but, like, for instance, if you look at, Insomniac and Naughty Dog, I'm pretty sure Naughty Dog just gave them a bunch of code so they could make Ratchet and Clank. But, like, you can barely tell, unless you've played the games your entire lives, that they'd be made from the same code. I've played them a bunch when I was a kid, and I can't tell at all. I bet if I played them for the last 10 years, plus my childhood, maybe I could tell, but it's just the trust that people aren't going to blatantly rip you off and try to make money off of it. You have to trust that people aren't going to do their inherent nature. I can't even imagine. You let 1 million people all sit. I mean, look at Pokemon. Look what the Pokemon ROM hack community has become. It's incredible. I never played any of them, but I used to watch Blame Truth back in the day. Or I guess not Blame Truth. That, like, Pokemon Renegade Platinum, Insurgents, Rising Darkness. I can't even remember, like, exactly the timeline of when those things all started coming out. I was a huge fan of the Universal Randomizer in, I want to say 2014 or 15. They had one update for the Universal Randomizer, and it just changed the way you could play Pokemon. I would open up like 5 windows in lectures at school and just sit there, and soft reset starts until I got a good starter. Looking back at it, I never got a shiny once. I mean, I restarted a lot. But I would just go until I got like a good nature on somebody. I think I've mentioned this before, in case you're wondering how I did it. I would play black version. So that's the Reshiram, I think. But you also start immediately with 2 rival battles. And what I would do is make both rivals Blissies. And then I would usually give myself something really cool. But it was really fun to like strategize and think of how you could actually beat 2 level 5 Blissies at the start of a game with a brand new Pokemon. If you want like an easy beat, just use a Dragon type, because you can just Dragon Rage. Well, not everybody can, but most of them learn Dragon Rage. It was fun. A lot of fun. And then every time you meet your rivals, they have the Blissey, because that's one of the things on the Universal Randomizer, so you can get like a massive boost in experience. It was a lot of fun. Probably one of my favorite ways to play Pokemon. And it could be so easily implemented into modern Pokemon games. Like, first off, Nuzlocke mode, where it's just like a quick save. It's not like your actual save. Every Game Boy could have 2 save files on it. You could have your actual playthrough and then like a Nuzlocke playthrough. But whenever you start like a playthrough, you could be like, oh yeah, I want to do official brand Pokemon Universal Randomizer. I don't think we'll see a giant change in quality until they can make their first T-rated game. And I don't think it'll be anything even remotely graphic. I think it'll simply come down to like it'll be something weird. It'll be something weird that none of us have ever thought of, that's been restricting the Pokemon Company from letting Game Freak actually go all out with the games or something. Like something super, super weird that they've had like a contract for since the beginning. Like, we'll always make Pokemon games, but you guys can't talk about this. And it's like, okay, like, fine, deal. And now at this point, it's just like a giant pain to both of them, but neither one uphold on the deal. It'll be something dumb. Something really, really dumb. Because they're missing out. With how big farming simulators are on Nintendo right now, they are either just trying to let this game die, or I don't know. Because they could have re-released Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with bigger farms, and it would have been huge. People love Ruby and Sapphire. Oh yeah, put farms in your secret bases, and people would have been buying that up again. I guess that is the problem, though, is they released that in Scarlet and Violet with the camping sections and whatnot, and it wasn't good, but people still bought it more than the other games. So, like, they have no reason to make it better or release Nostalgia Bait at this point. They can release new games without being afraid, and know people will buy them en masse. They're just not hard enough for me anymore. I love Professor Oak challenges and shiny badge quests. I think that's a very creative way to make an easy game not difficult, but more fun, more emotional. Nuzlocke's too, but I find a lot of like non-modified games, the Nuzlocks just really come down to don't over level, and then even then it's just if you catch the right Pokemon you just blaze through it. So while I'm not a big fan of ROM hacks, I think they are completely necessary for Nuzlocke. That'd be a fun, like, week just to sit down and actually make one of those. I've always wanted to make a Pokemon game. Primarily because I think you could actually use all 600 Pokemon. Well, I say that, but there's like 1,000 now. That's how old I am. That instantly aged me. Instantly aged me in the Kalos region. Oh. Sorry, I forgot to take my heart meds. But I just always thought it was unique that, like, they actually had different bird types and stuff like that. And, you know, you could actually do different things. Like, they did it with, like, Pidgey and Spearows. You wouldn't even see those guys in the same area. But at the same time, like, you had Pidove, and you could see Pidove in the cities and stuff. And then you had, Staravias, and you could see Staravias on, like, the edges of field only. Like, kind of like... I guess not so much that, but I should more say Pokemon never used one of its greatest mechanics, in my opinion. And that was the Feebas hidden tile mechanic. Not that I think they should all be, like, randomized, but I think there should be spots where, like... I mean, you see it all the time when you're playing Pokemon now, where there's just an odd space of grass all by itself. And I think there should be a chance to only find a Pokemon in that one space of grass. Or, like, when you're exiting a Viridian Forest, that last patch of grass has a chance to spawn something. Maybe that's the patch of grass where you find Pidgeotto, because it's on the edge of the woods. It's a bird of prey sitting in the trees watching all around it, both woods and field. Crabbies. Crabbies would be found like a Messino on the beach. Oh, did I just... I'm an idiot. I am so dumb. I just walked right through that door. Alright, well, at least I know I just have to die. Hello? I'm Captain Bosch! It is kind of neat getting to see all the animations. I mean, you normally don't want to ever see these. Alright, so a bit of a bummer. Oh, I didn't... Okay. Wow, I've got way more defense. Wow. We're only level 19, I think. I cannot wait to see 80 more levels. We'll be invincible. Like, actually invincible. Oh, I wish I had critical mode. Too bad. Round 2. Fight. I guess this will technically be more fun. It won't be as polished, but I will be stronger than I would be in critical mode. That's a trade-off. And I don't have to feel bad about doing it in proud mode with critical mode available, because it's not. I only have proud mode. You know what? I'll do Kingdom Hearts 1 Destiny Island grind on 1.5. And that'll be like a luxury, because I think Destiny Island's the worst grind. Not as bad as this. Oh my god, no. But I think Destiny Island versus like actual Roxas when you're running around the mansion, I think that's better, because you actually get to run around and do stuff. Whereas Destiny Island, you're literally just fighting Titus constantly. Although I think Wakka's technically better. I like Titus more. I think Titus is more consistent, whereas Wakka will technically give you more points if you can block his ball attack, but he just doesn't do it nearly as much as blocking a Titus swing, which is constant. But if I do it on 1.5, that might not actually be bad, because I think you can use Slide Dash, which isn't in the first game, obviously. Well, I think it is, but not in the way that it's added in the second game. Or the remake, I should say. Oh my god, doing this in critical would be insane. Alright, June just came in and yelled at me. I don't know what that means. It usually means JoJo's out there getting into something she's not supposed to. So I guess that means I can go grab a water. So close to another. Alright, give me 1 second. What? You're just gonna headbutt the microphone? Come here. Say something. June? Here. Do you want to sit by me? What do you want? Hey. Oh, you're so bad. What? Okay, alright, nope, I'm playing. I'm playing. No. No, JoJo. Don't look at the PS2 cord like that. Alright, today is my last day of true sanity. I am giving up caffeine. I'm going to attempt to give up caffeine for 2 months. I realized I was drinking way too much of a certain shaker beverage, and I want to kind of detox of caffeine, and I know it's going to make me really tired, so I'm just going to prepare for that. So at the same time, I'm going to try to drop soda, but I'm not going to drop soda completely. I've got some IBC cherry, no, I don't think it's cherry cola, I think it's just cherry soda. Might be black cherry, but it's non-caffeinated, so I'm going to use that in a pinch when I need, like, soda, because I think it'll be enough to trick me into thinking I'm getting what I want, so it'll get rid of my grog, but it won't actually give me the caffeine. It's kind of a placebo effect, a little trick on the brain. So I'm going to try to use those if I need it. But obviously, I'm gonna have to stay away from fast food places because you only get caffeinated soda there, and I don't drink diet. That's gross. You don't sacrifice taste for whatever your fears are. You drink real soda. Diet Coke's gross. It's gross. Ugh. I can't imagine going to a place that has a Coke freestyle and not ordering something brilliant. Let's just get out of here. You are sitting there with Dr. Pepper Cherry Vanilla at your fingertips, and you're getting a Diet Coke? Sick. You're sick. Your basement should be checked. A Diet Coke. Diet Dr. Pepper is better than that. Why are you drinking a Diet Coke? Diet Coke. It makes me sick just thinking about it. I don't know why, but saying Diet Coke so much made me think of a Costco hot dog, which actually does sound delicious. Talk about something not everybody has access to. I don't even have access to it. Costco membership. Although, from what I've understood from the Matt Pat video on Food Theorists, I would actually make my money back purely by eating hot dogs. Because I would just go there and just eat a big, like, dinner. I would just skip getting dinner. Ooh, maximum AP. Oh, I can't. Okay. Let's see what I got after. Oh, that was a quick kill. Let's see what I got. Nice. I'm gonna do so much damage too. I didn't even think about that. I'm 20, right? 19. Oh, my memory's shot. I think it costs 2,000 is what it said. Yeah. Okay. I think it's a little strange that they went with a fixed path for your health. It doesn't do that in the original game, does it? I don't think it does. Could you imagine doing this on critical mode and picking the shield? That'd be just insanity. Absolute insanity. A madman. Inflicted with the sickness. In which he is not down with himself. I hope one of those one day says something different. I know most games don't have a 1 in a million kind of winning odds. That's just something I've adopted, I think, from Final Fantasy 12 now. It's not 1 in a million, it's like 1 in 10,000. Yeah, Pokemon has it too, 1 in 8,000. But I always cross my fingers. Like a Mega Potion, something funny. Something you would see, and it's just like, well, I don't even want to use that. It'd be pointless to use that. But thank you. It doesn't have to be the rarest upgrade material in the game or anything, but like something fun. Because it's crazy to me to think that developers would make this game like this and then not think, you know, like, is somebody going to grind? Nobody would grind to max level here, but what if they grind to 10? I'm sure they'd like to be able to jump off this edge right here. Let me make an invisible kind of like way down. And then it's just like, well, should I do that or should I just put a single floating ledge and then 2 invisible walls? And then that way I can just put big invisible walls the whole way down and it won't look suspicious. but you can't jump. You can't just run up it. You have to run around, but you can jump down. That's what I would do. I should find out what that game is that I played. I really liked it. It's on Steam. The demo's available. It comes out in August, I think. It might be a game I buy and play. I'd have to see the price point. I didn't like the challenge associated with the game. They were going for a kind of like... And like, I respect it. But I don't like it when RPGs are reduced to rhythm tap games. Like, even Dark Souls gets like pretty toe the line with if you're playing like an action RPG or if you're playing a rhythm game. Like, it gets kind of weird sometimes because you really are just like dodge, 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 ooh, attack, dodge, 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 attack, dodge, 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 attack, punish. And then it's like 5 dodges, and then you go back to dodge, 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 attack. Which again, nothing wrong with that, but it kind of walks the line of, am I playing an RPG or is this a rhythm game? Because if you get off rhythm, you will die in that boss fight. So like, it's a little weird. But the mechanic they're going for is right before your character attacks in a Final Fantasy kind of setting, like the old battle scenes. You can time an A button press or an X, depending on what controller you are, or a spacebar, I guess, or a click maybe. And it'll do bonus damage. And the same thing for blocking. When like a boss or an enemy attacks you, if you click the action button right before they like make contact, you do a bonus block. And there was a amulet that caused you to lose 95% of your health and do double the damage on like critical hits. However, perfect blocks made it so that the enemies only did 1 damage to you, so you could survive all encounters with that negative 95 health. Or not negative, it'd be minus. You'd automatically be dead if it was negative. Well, I guess not. Because you'd still have the positive. I don't know. I'm not a math guy. I think I've proven that. Alright, cats are acting weird. That makes me feel uncomfortable. However, JoJo is sitting here looking at me. So I don't have to worry about her being the one out there eating the twisty ties off bread or anything. Her brother is famous for eating the elastic off of like hair. He eats like hair tie elastic. If it's not a hair tie or like the ear straps of a face mask, he doesn't want it. June eats chargers, which is like scary because we didn't actually learn that she was doing it until a couple of our phone chargers actually sparked. Just had no idea that she was chewing on them in the middle of the night. But I find that they don't chew on anything if they're fed the exact amount. However, the problem with that is feeding them the exact amount is kind of hard. Because if I feed June the exact same amount as Jiraiya or JoJo, she'll leave food behind. And then JoJo will try to eat that extra food. And if I feed JoJo the same amount as the other 2 cats, she'll go on a rampage and try to eat something somewhere else that she's not supposed to. So I have to feed her slightly more than Jiraiya. But if I feed Jiraiya the same as JoJo, he'll throw up. But if I feed him the same amount as June, he too will go out on a hunt for hair ties and stuff. And I have a lot of hair ties. Because I have, not a lot of hair, but it is long. I've got a long, full head of hair, but it has thinned. I don't want to say it's thick anymore. Not thick hair. But I do have a lot of hair ties. I gotta put it up, otherwise it gets in my food, and that's just gross. It's nasty. I have worked in food. I could not imagine not having my hair tied up while I'm working in food. You have to. If you don't have your hair put up inside of like a hat or something, or a hairnet or anything, it's getting in the food. Guaranteed. It's how it works. It's how gravity works. It's how biology works. Hairs fall out, hairs fall down. Plop in the food. Oh god, nothing's sicker than finding a hair in your food, even if it's your own hair. And those people out there, if you say that, shut up. Shut up. Just because it's your hair does not make it any better. At least it's your hair. Not any better. You're not making the situation any better. You didn't have to say that. It's the classic. If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. It being my hair does not make it better. Especially, I would rather have somebody's beard hair like 4% of the time than my own hair. Probably. Just because my hair is so long. If it's my hair, I'm not in for anything quick. If my hair length was made in spaghetti, Italian people would break it. It's obscene. It is not something you ever want to see in your food. And it's thin too, so it'd probably just break and you'd end up with a bunch of segments. You'd be screwed. Doomed! God, what show was that? My Strange Addictions, where that girl ate hair and they had to like do surgery on her? I'm glad I'm just arguing with myself on whether or not fire is sentient and I don't eat my own hair, like purposefully. Alright, we're back to where we started. In case you were wondering where I was at in Dragon Quest, which you probably weren't, I'm at 210 seeds of strength, 50 seeds of wisdom, 149 seeds of agility, still at 12 seeds of life, 7 seeds of magic, 1 seed of skill, 1 super seed of skill, and I think 4 seeds of defense. So I'm still making progress. I've taken breaks here and there where I've only collected seeds of strength. Recently, I've only been collecting 2 seeds of strength at a time, just because I'm kind of burnt out on farming seeds of agility. Peckham and the Riverside Chapel are brutal. I'm starting to think that sometimes when you enter the chapel in Peckham, or not Peckham, why am I saying Peckham? Simpleton. It's just like predetermined on whether or not you're going to see a seed of agility within the next 5 minutes. Because sometimes I'll spend like half an hour to an hour there. Like I'll specifically go out of my way to leave those as the last 2 chests I have to do. And I will not see a seed come out of them for hours. But I find that if I get out of that mindset and after like 5 or 10 minutes I don't see a seed from one, so like, you know, 5 or 10 attempts, I will then teleport and make a save somewhere else and like transition a few times between areas. And then when I go back, I'll most likely see a seed of agility within a few minutes. But I've spent hours hitting the same chest back to back to back. And it's a brutal run, running from the chapel or Simpleton all the way to the chest. I mean, like, it's a good minute and a half just to check it, and that's like a Pokemon soft reset. So, like, that stacks up after a while. Whereas if you go to Maury's place, you can do a soft reset of that chest in like literally a few seconds, like full soft reset. It might only be like a 10-second soft reset, including title screen and everything. It's so fast. And the worst one about that is it has the golden nugget, so like it tempts you. If they all had the golden nugget in the chest, that'd be such an easy farm, because then Simpleton and Riverside would just be gold nugget farms. I wouldn't even bother getting seeds from there every time. I would just try to get a gold nugget at least. But we're almost done. 40 days left of just collecting 2 seeds at a time. Like 26 days, I think, if I collect 3, which I think I'm going to start doing. Just because if I do that, I can more easily hit 2,000 kilometers traveled. Or is it miles? It might be miles traveled. But I'm close to 2,000 of something traveled. But since I switched to only picking up Seeds of Strength, I am not hitting that goal. Not once in my entire farming of Seeds of Strength have I ever seen all 3 chests drop a Seed of Strength. I think if I saw that, I would quit playing, like, with the mindset of ending the game anytime soon. And I would get another 300 seeds and immediately give them to Red. I want to give all the Seeds of Agility to Red and Strength. Strength as well, yeah. Because she has to do the blade dance when we fight the final boss. I think it's sword dance? Blade dance? Sword dance is Pokemon. Blade dancer? I can't remember what it's called. I've never used it before. Anyways, she will also have to have maximum strength. So I don't know if I want to save those Seeds of Strength for her, because once I get the 300, I'm definitely going to want to move on in the game. But I think it'll be smarter to give them to Hero, because that'll just obviously make it easier. Not like it's going to be difficult to get to Red, but if I give all 300 Seeds of Strength to Hero and then get a new Boomerang as soon as I get the boat, I will kill everything in one throw. Almost guaranteed. Maybe not everything, but... But yeah, we'll do that. I'll finish that off. I'll probably, yeah, just give him to Hero. I'm going to give the 150 seeds, I think it's like 115 seeds, actually, to Angelo so that he can outspeed the Hero. And then I'll have to stockpile some so that Red can outspeed Jessica, but not a lot. I mean, I won't put any on Jessica. So I think, honestly, any that get put on Red will probably be enough. I'd imagine they probably have similar speeds. But you want Jessica to go last because she's always going to do the same amount of damage with Magic Burst. And since the Hero and Red do random amounts, you want them to go first. Or not first, you want them to go second and third. You want Angelo to go first so he can cast Oomph. The first turn is High Tension Cheese and 3 Timbrels of Tension, so that everybody has 100. And then, again, it really doesn't matter for Angelo because he just casts Oomph first. Red and Hero go second and third with either a Falcon Slash with the Falcon Blade for 4 hits, or you try to do multi-hit with a Spear and roll the dice. I think you either do the exact same amount percentage-wise, or you can do 50 damage more, I think. Or it might be 25% more. I can't remember. I'll have to do the math. So, quite interesting. Quite interesting. But that's how you kill the hardest boss in this game in 2 turns. Oh, do I have... I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. I did. That could have been a fun screenshot. gosh, could you imagine the games you could make if you had this source code? I was just thinking, probably first prototype I would start working on before I have any story or anything written. I would make a game out of just these assets, pretty much. And you would just infinitely fall down a dark void and like have to discover your own intricate path down these giant rooms. But like as you fall down them, you'd get to parts like this that aren't connected, but like they have the bridge there, and then you'd have to jump down to another, but you'd never get back up here. And then yeah, you could use doors as like teleporters and then shortcuts to take you back up to the... Oh yeah, you could make some sweet games. It's too bad you can't franchise a game. Like a restaurant. That'd be sweet, right? Like, imagine somebody with like a big enough budget franchising a game. They could fund departments. Oh my gosh, yeah. It would get new blood in there while you wouldn't have to fire anybody. You wouldn't have to pay for anything because they're franchising. Oh my gosh. They would just have to put their name on it, and that's already what they do. But it lets... Not everyday Joes, obviously. You have to be rich. But then when something goes bad, you just blame the franchisee. Yeah, it's like Waffle House. Nobody blames Waffle House for being crazy. It's just each individual Waffle House is in an unfortunate situation. But like, again, go to a Waffle House in a disaster, and it is actually a wonderful, nice place. It's a place of relief. But like, they'll let just about anybody make one of them things. What was a better example? Probably Subway. They would let literally anybody make a Subway. Subway was probably a better example. My gosh, there was that Reddit post like 2 weeks ago where somebody was talking about, is this bacon raw or not? And everybody in the comments was like, that is absolutely raw bacon. And then like you could tell Subway was showing up with damage control because people were like, oh no, that's blah 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 smoked bacon. You can tell by the curing process that it's from blah 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 blah. I work at a Subway, so blah 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 blah. And it was just like, okay, these are like the most prefabricated like messages I've ever seen. And then for like the next 5 days, I was seeing like weird posts from people who worked at Subway. And it was just like super strange that for like the first time in my Reddit experience, I was seeing like Subway employees on the top of Reddit. And it was just super apparent that it had to do with the raw bacon posts. The old damage control on the social medias. But yeah, they'll just let anybody open a Subway. Maybe not anymore. Probably still. I would have to imagine that, well... I would not guarantee that Waffle House... I don't think Waffle House has to be opened in a place that has natural disasters. That would be a really dumb clause. I take that back. I was going to say that, but I've thought about it. I'm still going to say it because it's dumb and I like it. But I'm assuming there's no clause when you open a Waffle House that there has to be some sort of natural disaster available nearby. Sorry, not enough natural disasters. We're not opening there. If we can't save people in a natural disaster, we don't want to put our face in it. Although, where are there no natural disasters? I don't think anywhere. They could put that in their clause. I take it back. It'd be twisted, but I take it back. I don't think there's anywhere without natural disasters. Everywhere's got something. Although I don't think you're supposed to shelter in a Waffle House during a tornado. They've kind of got a lot of windows. As the storms get stronger, Waffle Houses will too. Eventually, they'll be like bomb shelters. Under every Waffle House is enough for 100,000 people to survive for a few months. It's on nothing but Belgian waffles and all-star platters. But they will survive. That would be such a funny premise for a show. Like a survival bunker full of people that have survived way longer than they were supposed to into the apocalypse. And then like every so often they get like travelers. And that's the whole premise of the show, is they're all super annoying because they've survived so well. But like the travelers get there and they're like, oh my god, what are you surviving off? And they, oh, we just have slop. We've all been eating the same food for like generations, and it's just, again, like lab-grown all-star platters of hash browns and bacon and eggs and everything, and the travelers have been eating like irradiated gulls, like two-headed seagulls, basically. For the layman who didn't know what I meant when I said gull, I'll throw that C in front of it for you. But that'd be super funny. They'd be like staring at them like, this is the most delicious food I've ever eaten. And they're all like, oh god, I can't even look at it anymore. I just eat plain grits now. It'd be super funny. Be like an opposite of Z for Zachariah. And not the creepier version. They're both creepy. But not the creepier version. I'll let you decide. Don't do it, don't do it. What are we looking at? How close are we to 1200? Oh, nice. We're way past it. Very nice. That was a quick one. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Get out from behind that door, you coward! It's so nice when you finally see that 600 pop up and you just know 10 runs. It's really the grind, is just getting to that 99 times. I know it's going to be brutal. That first time I see it hit like 10,000, it's just going to be, ugh. But I don't think it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be bad. But I feel like when it starts hitting walls like that, it's going to be slow going. Like, I really do think it just grows in increments of 600 in my mind. Because 10 runs is boring, but like, it's very doable. I mean, it's really doable. I got to level 12 and it was like nothing. So I think just by doing that and moving on with the mindset of like, no, this is slow, but we'll move on and do it later. I think by getting just to level 12, it showed me how easy this actually can be. Tedious, but it's easy. I would like the extra health so that I could easily maintain, because if you beat Axel and the boss right after this, I can't remember what the nobody's called. The Super Shade. You get 2 health increases, which is kind of a big deal. I mean, excuses, I know, but I cannot wait to see how funny the struggle tournament is. It was already funny enough just beating the people down, and then they couldn't get back up, like, to fight back. So if I'm 99, I can't imagine. All right, 11 more runs. Easy does it now. Oh, what I was saying was when I think I get to like that 10,000 mark, I really think it's just gonna like kind of lock off there in my brain. And until it gets to like 25,000 per level, and I'm not sure how long that'll take. It does worry me that when I start getting to those higher levels, it's gonna take way more experience. But at the same time, like, I already know how much it's going to take overall. And, like, while it's taken small amounts now, does that just mean when I hit, like, 75, I hit the brick wall? Because if so, that means I just log on and do a level a day. And, like, I tough it out. But, like, for right now, this is just casual. Yeah, like I've played for an hour and 12 minutes, and I'm about to get 2 levels in. Easy. Now again, one day it might take me 8 hours just to get a single level. And it'll be brutal. But maybe that's what inspires my first 24-hour stream. Playing Kingdom Hearts 2 for 24 hours to knock out those last levels. It'd be so depressing to only get 3 levels in 24 hours. It'd be so depressing to only get 1 level. I think that'll actually happen at one point, though. Genuinely. Like, I think this takes like 800 something hours or more. I'll have to recheck my math. What's 36 days times... What's 36 times 24? That's what I think it takes, is how many hours. This will probably take longer than that. Maybe 40 days. And nights. So 80. Because I don't work day and nights. They're separate. Alright, so after this, we'll have 13 levels, and we'll get the damage drive. That's what I've been most excited for. I think by the time we get, I think it's level 13, but by the time we get that, we'll be one-hitting stuff, hopefully. So, when we do get it, it'll probably be guaranteed one-hits. And I'll be trying to do the double experience again. Because it just sucks to have to combo them. Like, right there, I was relaxed, so I wasn't panicked about it, and I had full health. But if he would have hit me with, like, 2 swings while upside down, it would have been over. He would have juggled me and set me up for hits 3 and 4, and I would have died if I had enough health. But I most likely would have just died in hits 1 and 2. So, if I can get to that point where they're all just dying in one hit, like dead, I won't mind trying with low health. Because if I can just, like, yeah. Because if they all die in one hit, that combo would have killed all of them. And I might not have had to pick up any of it. It's crazy to think that if this was just a little different, like, double XP is always on, like it should be, and there's a ledge for me to jump down, I could be done 4 times as fast. Literally 4 times as fast. Because again, half the time I spend running back down this when I could just fall down. And then, yeah, you have to have critical HP to get double experience. That's kind of dumb. No wonder I don't remember using that, because it's terrible. It's funny to think, like, no, a developer did not think of that and go, that's too fast. Somebody's going to stay here and level up. Like, they just absolutely did not think about putting a ledge there. And I don't know why they did the XP thing. It's kind of just dumb. Just make it later. Don't make it such an early reward. I mean, like, the magic build direction, whatever you want to call it, the staff, I think, is actually what the technical term is. It gets double experience, I think, at level 7. That's just ridiculous. But again, you have to use critical health, so, like, I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me. I think they should make it a later level and then just make it double. Don't put some weird restraints on it. Make the weird restraints what level you get it at. Especially in a game where health orbs drop on the ground and then, like, pull towards you. Like, you can't even control that you stay at half health. If this was a game where you only rested by, like, sitting at camp and potions, it'd be totally different. But, like, there's literally health orbs on the ground. Didn't even notice those were there. Yoink. Didn't even grab it. How long is the Kingdom Hearts 2 timer? I'll have to get a screenshot right before the timer flicks. If I remember correctly, it's like a really strange amount of time, and then it just changes colors. Or that might only be Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm not actually sure. I can see myself having to take a big mental break from this game when one level takes me 2 hours. I'll probably hit like a big mental block there. I'll either hit a mental block or I'll have to play the game in like 30-minute segments, getting through levels in 4 parts. And then I'll have to take a break, and then I'll come back to the game and actually like Start putting a ton of time into it. Because it's really nice when you do stuff like that and you get to like level 50 and then you're just like, well, I'm done. I'm never playing this game again. And then you put it down for 6 months and then you come back 6 months later and you're just like, oh my god, what was I doing? And then you put some time into it and you get to like level 60 and you're just like, okay, this is stupid. I'm never getting this done. And then you don't pick it up for a few months and then you get to 70 and then you don't pick it up for a few months and you get to 75 and you don't pick it up. And eventually, over years, you finally get to 99. And you keep your sanity, you keep the fun of the game, and then you finally have that memory card that has the perfect save file. Did it take several years? Yes. Was it easier when I was a kid and I could just get home from school and do stuff like this? Yes. However, it's not impossible. You just have to set the time aside and realize that it might not be fun for a little bit. However, what else are you gonna do? Play League? That's not fun and you know it. You gonna solo fill some Apex rank? We both know that's not fun. Don't do it. It is addictive though. One more game. But nope. I'm finding that if I just set a little time aside, I can complete all of these challenges in a long time. But they do get finished. It's all about managing the burnout. You want a nice controlled crash. If you do a landing, you end up wanting to come back, and then that's when you hit burnout. You gotta burn out and then come back when you're ready. Because again, if you don't fully burn yourself out, you're gonna want to come back early, and then you're just gonna actually hate it. So you want to burn yourself out, get away from it, and then come back and just be like, wow, nice. That's again why I had to get away from Pokemon, though. I could spend 2-3 years hunting a Pokemon. That doesn't mean I'm ever going to catch it, and it doesn't mean I'm ever going to get anything for hunting it. The only time you even receive something for doing stuff like that is if you're hunting a similar Pokemon in the same area, and it has a dropped item, and you're using Thief to try to get it. Otherwise, you're literally just wasting your time until you get the shiny. And that's what's so soul-crushing about it. Because, like, I could spend 11 months playing day and night and never see that shiny Celebi, which I've obviously not done day and night. But I've put some good sessions into it. Those sessions could have been Kingdom Hearts 2 sessions. I could be level 50 by now. But I tried to get a shiny Celebi. I still want that shiny Celebi. And maybe one day I will find the value in it that outweighs my own time. But until then, I'm gonna be doing this Dynasty Warriors. I'm trying to stay away from Monster Hunter because I'm exactly where I'm talking about. I didn't quite burn myself out was the problem. But I knew if I went like back to farming Rathalos, I wasn't going to be having fun. So I just kind of left that. Because I know when I go back, I'm going to have to farm Rathalos. And I know it's not going to be fun. Because again, I don't even know if I can do it. I need pitfall traps and stuff like that. And I don't know if you can trap Rathalos. I guess I would just have to try. I'd have to make some sleep bombs and learn how pitfall traps work. But from what I understand, that's the only way for me to get Rathalos wings. Not webbing, but wings. So it would definitely be interesting. Nice. Leaf Bracer's huge. Can't use it. I both can't use it and I don't have Cure, so Yeah. So yeah. The next time my AP increases, though, I can use it. Oh gosh, about 2,400 apparently. That's 4 loops. Very nice. Level 20. 6 hours. It's going to get worse than that. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I think it'll actually keep track of my time. I don't think it'll change color in this game. Maybe it will. I think that's only in Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh, I have 20 HP too. That's funny. $12,000. That's quite a bit. Take a little screenshot. Not bad, not bad. Is there? Yeah, Station of Serenity. It actually does say where I am. Perfect. I did save, right? I have that panic save. Yes, okay. Perfect. All right, well, glad that's over. Until next time, I will see you later. We will not be playing any more of this tonight, that's for sure. Or Dynasty Wars. I'm going to take a break for the rest of the night. It's close enough to dinner time. I should get cooking. Not sure what I'll have, but probably a meat, a veggie, and something... Either a... What am I saying? I'm not a hard shell taco guy.